Hey everyone. Today we're building a simple yet powerful web app using Python, Streamlit, and Supabase. Our goal is to create a to-do list where users can add tasks, and instead of storing them locally, we'll save everything in a Supabase database. This means even if we refresh the app or restart it, the tasks will still be there. Streamlit will handle the front end, making it super easy to build the UI, while Supabase will act as our back end, taking care of storing and retrieving data. By the end of this video, you'll know how to connect Streamlit to a real database and build a fully functional, interactive web app. Sounds exciting? Let's get started. You can support us and get early access to our daily videos by joining the channel. We'd love to have you as part of our community. First, we need to set up a virtual environment. This is super important because it keeps our project isolated, ensuring that we don't run into any package conflicts from other projects. So let's run the command python-m venv in the terminal. This creates a new environment specifically for our project. Now we head to the scripts directory and run the activate.bat file. This activates the virtual environment, which means that everything we install from now on will be contained within this environment. With that done, let's install the necessary packages. We start by installing Supabase with pip install Supabase, which allows us to interact with our database. Then we install Streamlit with pip install Streamlit, which will help us create the web interface. Lastly, we install python.env using pip install python.env, which makes it easier to handle environment variables securely. Now everything is set up and we're ready to start coding. Now that the transfer is complete, we can start building the project. First, we create an env file inside the venv directory. The reason we're doing this is to securely store sensitive information like our Supabase URL and API key. This keeps these credentials safe and prevents exposing them in the code or on GitHub. Next, we add two important variables to the .env file, Supabase URL and Supabase key. These are the credentials we need to connect to the Supabase backend. Now let's go to the Supabase website. I've added the website link in the video description so you can easily access it from there. If we haven't signed up yet, we create an account. It's free. Once logged in, we can get our project URL and API key. We copy these values and assign them to the appropriate variables in the .env file. By doing this, we ensure that our app communicates securely with Supabase without exposing our credentials in the code. Now that we've set up our environment and credentials, let's start coding. We'll create a file called main.py where the magic happens. First, let's import the necessary libraries. We begin by importing Streamlit as st. This allows us to use Streamlit in our project and easily build the user interface. Next, we import create client from Supabase. This is how we'll connect to the Supabase database and interact with our backend. After that, we import load.env from .env. This library will help us load the values from our .env file securely, so we don't need to hardcode sensitive information like API keys into our code. Finally, we import OS, which allows us to access environment variables in Python. This is how we'll retrieve the Supabase credentials that we stored in the .v file. Let's move forward with the next steps. We start by calling load.env. This loads the environment variables from our .env file into the project, which ensures that our sensitive credentials, like the Supabase URL and API key, are loaded securely into our app. Next, we retrieve the values of the environment variables with URL equals .getenv Supabase URL and key equals Supabase key. These two lines get the Supabase URL and API key that we stored in the .env file, so we can use them to connect to our Supabase database. Then we create a Supabase client with Supabase client equals create client URL key. This client allows us to interact with the Supabase database by calling various methods like querying or inserting data. Now let's move on to the first function, def get to-dos. This function retrieves all the tasks from the todos table in the Supabase database. We use supabase.table todos.select execute to select all columns from the todos table and execute the query. The result of this query is returned as response.data, which contains all the tasks. The second function is def add to do task. This one is responsible for adding a new task to the database. When a user enters a task and clicks the Add Task button, this function inserts the task into the todos table using supabase.table todos.insert task task.execute. Next, we set up the Streamlit user interface. We start by setting the title of the app with st.title Supabase Todo app. This will display the title at the top of the app. Then, we create a text input field with task will see st.text input, add a new task. This is where the user can enter a new task. We follow it up with a button if st.button add task, which checks if the add task button is clicked. If clicked, it will check if a task is entered and then call the add to do task function to add the task to the database. If no task is entered, we show an error message with st.error, please enter a task. If the task is added successfully, we show a success message with s.success task added. Finally, we display the list of tasks. st.write to-do list is used to add a heading before the list. Then we retrieve the tasks from the database with todos equals get todos and display each task with a loop. For todo and todos, st.write f to-do task. If no tasks are available, we display a message saying no tasks available. Now that we've completed the code, let's activate the web server by running the command streamlit run main.py. When we run this, the server starts up. But there's an issue. Public.todos does not exist. This error occurs because we haven't created the todos table in Supabase yet. To fix this, we go to Supabase and check the tables. When we open the tables section, we see that there are no tables created yet. So we need to go to the SQL tab where we can run SQL commands to create the necessary table. We can use a simple SQL query to create the todos table. Once the query is written, we click the Run button to execute it. After the table is created, we can go back to the Streamlit app. But before doing that, we need to restart the server. To restart the server, we stop it by pressing Ctrl-C in the terminal, which will shut down the current server instance. Then we run the command streamlit run main.py again to start the server back up. This time, when the server starts, we don't see the error anymore. The table exists and the app works as expected. After adding a task called Do Shopping, I see it appear in the task list, just as we expect. Then I add another task, Clean Room, and the app works perfectly, adding the new task to the list. Now I wonder whether the tasks will be lost when I restart the server. So I restart the server and check the task list again. And guess what? The tasks are still there. This means that the tasks are saved permanently in the Supabase database, not just in the app's memory. Even if I restart the server, the data stays intact because it's stored in the database. This proves that our app is working exactly as it should, and the data is persistent thanks to Supabase. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more awesome tutorials. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.